Anthony's help. And it's not just George. Cindy Anthony has been helping from behind the scenes. George and Cindy just didn't want to appear together out of worry it might detract from the search for the little girl. Of course, matters with their own family are far from over. George, Cindy, and Lee Anthony are scheduled to answer questions under oath in just 2 weeks. Local 6 reporter Adam Longo picks up the story from there. Adam, the big question, will the family actually show up?
Yeah, Jackie, that is a big question at this point. Of course, we're talking about the civil case, a defamation suit brought by Zenaida Gonzalez. Now, the Anthony family attorney, Brad Conway, says he's going to do everything he can to keep his clients from having to sit down and answer questions in this suit. But the attorney for Lee Anthony says he will allow his client to sit down for questions with conditions.
I can tell you it's been extraordinarily difficult on him.
CMA.
Kaylee's uncle, Lee Anthony, Uncle E, as she called him, his life has taken a drastic turn since his niece went missing and his sister was put in jail.
I can tell you it's been extraordinarily difficult on him. He is both the emotional and the financial rock of his family right now, supporting them financially and emotionally throughout this entire, up till to date.
I've got to tell you, it is hard to stand up here and be the pillar of strength.
2 weeks from today, Lee will have to sit down in front of attorney John Morgan and answer questions about Zenaida Gonzalez. Lee's attorney says that's okay, as long as the media isn't there and the videotaped deposition isn't released until the case is closed.
I think it's going to be very difficult for Morgan & Morgan to actually prevail in this lawsuit.
Luca believes there isn't much of a case in the civil action. He says the first time Lee Anthony ever heard the name Zenaida Gonzalez was after his sister's arrest. And he says he'll instruct Lee not to answer questions that aren't directly related to Zenaida Gonzalez.
He doesn't know, as does the entire country does not know.
But the hard part for Lee will come down the road when prosecutors stand up in court and ask him questions that could lead to Casey's conviction.
It's hard for anyone to testify in a trial, let alone against your own family member.
Luca does believe the state's case against Lee's sister is largely circumstantial.
Extraordinarily circumstantial. There is no key eyewitness testimony to anything linking Miss Anthony to the actual murder.
Now, while Lee's attorney will allow him to sit down and answer questions in that civil suit, Brad Conway, the Anthony family attorney, says he's going to do everything in his legal power to prevent George and Cindy from having to sit down and answer questions. Matter of fact, he says he's going to be filing a protective order to that effect first thing next week. Live in the newsroom tonight, Adam Longo, Local 6.
Adam, we know the criminal trial is still far off, but what does Lee's attorney have to say about Casey getting a fair trial in Orange County?
Sure, and there's been a lot of talk, of course, Jackie, about a change of venue. Interestingly enough, Luca says he thinks the only place Casey Anthony can get a fair trial is actually right here in Orange County. He says all the national media attention has likely made other places in Florida not a place where she'd be able to get a fair trial. Jackie?
All right, and hard to find any place in the country that does not know about this case.